Welcome to Community Forum on Waycross Community Media. This is the program where we keep you connected to different organizations in the community that are doing some neat things. And today we have a very playful topic. Today we get to speak to Paul Wellington, who is the director of a brand new American Construction Toy Museum. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thanks for having me. This is great.
I am so looking forward to talking about this because there's absolutely no point that I feel like you outgrow construction toys. And I say construction toys, let's just start with what kind of toys are we talking about?
So I mean things like Lego, Connects, Tinker Toys, Lincoln Logs, things that you can construct three models with essentially. So all those kind of toys, blocks as well. So all the toys when you were a kid, you could build something, tear it down, build something else that was pretty cool.
It's the toys that we never outgrow.
Exactly. Lasts forever.
As testified to, I don't know how many of the grown-ups in my life, including me, still have Legos. So that's one kind of construction toy. Like you said, the blocks, the Lincoln Logs, all these great things.
Erector sets as well. So
oh, yes. Tinker Toys.
Tinker Toys too, yeah. A lot of great toys.
So many. So that gives us a starting idea of, these are the kind of, when we say construction toys, we're talking about the ones you can make things out of, you can make different, they're not one thing all the time.
Correct. It could be a house, it could be a boat, a person, anything you want it to be. Anything you can imagine, that's what it could be.
A Death Star.
A Death Star, yeah. It could be Titanic, whatever you want it to be.
All right. So I'll try to stop thinking about playing with them, and we'll talk about the museum. So what is special about these toys that makes you want to create this museum?
So for me, building toys has always been a big part of my life. Growing up, Lego was a big part of my life. It actually led to me being on the TV show Lego Masters at some point. I was on there. We filmed the show spring of 2023. It aired fall that year, and it was just an incredible experience. I was on there with my sister, who actually had not touched Lego in 15 years, so quite a long time, but she caught on pretty quickly. We went to the finale. We finished third place in the show, and it was amazing.
Okay, I didn't realize that was part of your resume, is that
yes.
Third place Lego Masters on. That is fantastic.
Yes.
Are there other kinds of construction toys you played with growing up?
So I was really big into blocks. Growing up, I would say like age 1 or 2 to age 4. I remember having these very colorful blocks. I would build these tall towers, and I was always fascinated by these buildings. I'm from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, so we have a nice downtown. See a lot of our art museum, our city hall was very inspiring, and often created these towers to replicate what I saw in real life. I also was into Connects for a little bit as well. I used to build the roller coasters. They were super cool. So really the big three for me, Lego, blocks, and Connects.
Connects, okay.
Yeah.
Those are fun too. I want to play with toys
There's
now
so many
instead
cool
of finish
construction
this.
toys, yeah.
It's so good that we don't have a table full of these, or we'd be playing with that. What made you think, you know what, these aren't just fun to play with, we need a museum?
So after my time on Lego Masters, I wanted to figure out a way to give back to the community. So there was this high school student in California. He started the organization called Pass the Bricks, whereas he would collect used Lego sets and pieces, recreate small sets, and give those to kids in need. So eventually, about a year ago, I became the local ambassador for that program. So right now I have a ton of Lego at home through donations from across the Ohio, Kentucky area. It's a lot of Lego at home in my house right now. And often though, I receive off-brand pieces in there. So like think of things like Lock Blocks or Mega Blocks, and that led to me wanting to learn more about these toys, these other brands, which led to the museum idea eventually happening.
So what's different about kids playing with these toys versus kids playing with any other kind of random toy? What do you think it does for them?
So I think playing with building toys really promotes creativity and imagination. Because a lot of toys that which you have access to is one thing. Like a doll is one thing, a train set is one thing, but these building toys, you can build whatever you want. You can build a doll, you can build a train set, and then once you're done, tear it apart and build something else. So that's why I think it allows for more creativity.
I know that it's one of the things I think that keeps us from outgrowing them, is that they're not always that thing that they were that first time you used it.
Absolutely, and I think as you progress later in life, you see yourself kind of grow through constant building, and you're able to create these more intricate designs, which I think is really cool as well.
What kind of pieces do you have in the collection right now?
A little bit of everything, actually. I have some Lego, obviously. I have my oldest set I have is an 1878 building toys. Super cool from the East Coast. Very cool stuff. But I have a lot of concrete block sets from the early 1900s. I have those. I have some of the early erector sets from like the 1920s as well. So a little bit of everything from the 1800s up to recent years as well.
Are those concrete are they actually made out of concrete?
They are. They're actually quite heavy too. In wooden cases, but they're so cool. Yeah, they're awesome.
We complain about Legos and stepping on them, but can you imagine dropping those on your
Oh
feet?
my gosh, so heavy. It'll definitely mark on your foot. Yeah.
Moms of today should appreciate our Legos.
Absolutely. They're so much safer than blocks.
Okay,
Yes.
good to know, good to know. Is there a favorite in your collection so far of what you have?
Outside of Lego, which I'm a little bit biased to, of course, I would say that it's really cool to see some of the original Tinker toy sets from like the 19 teens and stuff, 1920s, because they were one of the first toy companies to actually include a mailing label on the packaging, so you could ship that as a gift to a friend or family or a loved one. It was super cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there a holy grail of building toy sets that you have your eyes open for?
So there are two. One is something called Build-O-Brick. It is the first interlocking building brick in America, 1934 in Pennsylvania. I cannot find it online right now, unfortunately, to buy, but it predates Lego as well.
Okay.
So that's the biggest thing I want. Number two, there's a log cabin set from like the 1860s. I can't find it online right now. That's super cool.
Oh no, I want to see
So it
that
predates
too.
Lincoln Logs. Actually, Lincoln Logs
Yes.
is inspired from that original set in the 1860s.
Oh, that's so interesting.
Yes.
Now I want to find it too.
I know, I can't find it anywhere for sale, unfortunately, but my eye is open for it. One day it'll
Okay, so
happen.
if you're watching this and you're cleaning out grandma's house, I know a safe place that you can donate them.
Absolutely.
I'm just saying, if
I'll
you
take
find
very
one
good
of
care of
those,
it. Yes.
Which is actually, I feel like that is a thing that people clean out and they know, okay, this has been preserved in my family. I could just sell it for something, but maybe I want to donate it. What museums have this?
So actually, the first museum dedicated to 3D building toys was actually called From Blocks to Bricks. It was in Schaumburg, Illinois, so near Chicago. They opened, give or take, 2017, and they closed, never reopened during COVID, unfortunately. But it was a great place in the mall there. It was awesome. But what makes me different is I want to tell these narratives, like why these toys are important, who made them, people behind the toys. So that's what I'm trying to do by having these exhibits I currently have right now.
Now, you don't have a brick and mortar spot yet.
Not yet.
But there are some ways that people can see these toys. What are some of the places that people can go to see them?
So in April, I will have an exhibit at the Walnut Hills Branch Library. That exhibit will speak on how interlocking brick companies like Lego, Mega Bloks, how they marketed their toys for girls, essentially. Which kind of ties into the Barbie exhibit at the Museum Center, which is happening pretty soon.
Very nice tie-in.
Yes.
And yeah, I always found it very interesting because obviously girls were already playing with them.
Yes.
Although it was hard to get someone to buy them for you. But once you convinced your aunts and uncles that you definitely really did want them, then you could get them. And then the toy company said, oh, hey, do we have to make them flowers or pink or something?
Well, some did and some didn't. So that's
Which is
why
funny,
it kind of looks at how each company handled the marketing. So it's kind of interesting.
Oh, I'm gonna have to go check that out.
Yeah.
Because I was entertained when Lego said, girl sets have flowers. And the girls were like, we were already building things with the ray guns, but okay.
Yeah.
You know? That's, sure, we'll do flowers too.
Yes.
Do you mind telling us where you find your toys?
Yeah, so I actually find a lot of these toys at antique shops, surprisingly. There's a ton around here in the Cincinnati area, so I found a lot of good toys as far back as like the 1940s in these shops. So it's really cool just going antiquing, seeing these really old toys. My kids love them as well, so this is awesome. But also a lot of toys I get are from eBay or even Etsy as well, a lot of the more rare toys. So really just shopping around, even Goodwill sometimes. Goodwill has some older things as well, so a little bit of every place, I would say.
Do you find it's hard to find them with all of the pieces?
Sometimes it is hard to find a complete set, but for me, sometimes just having the packaging is more important than actual pieces, being complete at least. Yeah,
Okay.
so I wanted to have that actual display, see what it was like back then to purchase a set.
Yeah, that does really help you see how they were being marketed.
Exactly, yes.
What are some of the other events and projects that you have planned where folks will get to see these things?
Yeah, so coming up on May 3rd, I have Build It Toy Fest.
Okay.
That will be at the Courtyard Marriott in Rookwood, the hotel there in Norwood. So it's only, only $6 a ticket. So that will feature some toys for kids to play with, as well as different exhibits that I have working on right now. So you see a bunch of vintage toys and a bunch of current toys kids have built with.
And there's all this information. You have an event section on your website.
Yes.
So we're going to record at this point, and we know, what exhibits are coming up. But if folks at any point want to see what the next thing is, they can go to your website and click the event spot.
Yep, so that's actmuseum.org, and then go to events there as well. You'll see all the events and exhibits that I have upcoming and past exhibits as well.
And some of them have small fees, and some of them are at the library. So all the details for those are right there on the website, and we don't have to worry about getting that. But you can find all of the information right there. And you even have, people can book outreach events. So you can find out information about that too, which I thought was fun because that has a hands-on component.
Yes, so right now I'm working with several library branches to have exhibits over the summer, so fingers crossed they go well. Okay. Right now I have two ideas, two different programs. One is called Brick Days, which focuses on things like I have a Lego Derby track, which build a race car and race it down a track. A free build, you'll see some of my exhibits as well. Then I have another one which focuses on a brief history of certain toys like Lego, Lincoln Logs, so kids get a chance to actually play with those toys at this program.
When you have kids at your outreach things and the ones that you've interacted with so far as you're starting these, what kind of feedback are you getting from the kids? Obviously the grown-ups, as I'm doing, go, oh, I love them. But some of are kids
I have not had one yet, actually. I have not had one yet. Soon.
All right.
First one's planned for May, technically speaking. So
okay,
we'll
so
see.
We'll have to have you come back and tell us.
Yes.
Do the kids? Are they saying we know these? We play with these at
Is
home?
it just Lego? Is it other toys? What are their interests?
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
I would be very interested to see, is this a whole new project for them, or
exactly? It's kind of so it really is tapping into nostalgia of parents as well. So for me, these shows will be good for all ages because you have nostalgia for the parents and grandparents. You have the playability with these toys for the kids. So it's really great for everyone.
You talked about building things. You talked about Lego Masters. What's the coolest thing you've built?
That's a great question. So on the first time that I filmed a TV show, Lego Masters, the best thing we built was a telescope, I would say. Life-size telescope about this big. We had about 6 hours to build it. It was quite challenging because getting the angle and balance correct was very difficult. And for that challenge, we actually had to pick an object in a detective office and build it on a 1-to-1 scale. And I saw a telescope, was like, we can build that. So I chose that right away. We did great. We actually won that challenge as well. It was really cool.
That's really, I'm going to have to go back and watch.
Yeah, Lego Masters Season 4. It's on Hulu if you have that.
Okay, all right. I have to go back and watch all your builds now.
Yes.
Because we're going to see you. Are you going to bring any more of your builds out when you said, well, you said you're going to have some of your builds at
Yeah, so since filming the show, I started building a modular city called Winter City. So it's a city in a winter theme. Okay. So a standard base plate is 10 by 10 inches, so roughly about this big or so. Okay. I have about 45 base plates of the city right now, so it's pretty large. I'll bring in like a small portion of it at the events, but it's really cool to see. Oh, that's going to be really fun to watch grow and. Yeah, so my goal is 1,000 base plates. So maybe in 20 years or so, I'll get there. Okay. So it's a long-term project. So speaking of projects, and so this is just getting started. Mm-hmm. It's not your day job. No. What is your day job? So my day job, I work for the library as a social media specialist. So all of the Facebook, TikTok, Instagram posts you see, that's all through me. And all of the fun ones? All the fun ones. Serious ones and fun ones are all through me. Okay. Yeah. Okay, serious ones too. Yeah, serious posts sometimes. But I've been seeing an uptick in sort of just fun, doing something fun to let you know what's going on in the library. Exactly. I think mix of humor and education is a great way to engage people in a post. I like it. I like it. Will there be any Lego library posts? Will you try to do a crossover there? For any kind of outreach events, yes, there will be posts. And actually, there was a whole blog post about me and Lego Masters on the library's website a few years ago, so that was awesome too.
All right, that's another resource we
There
can
you go.
We can go look for. What are your future goals for the Toy Museum?
So I think in 5 to 10 years, I want to actually open a physical location. Right now, the next 4 or 5 years is about really just about awareness. So by me having these exhibits in libraries or other places, by me having these events with hands-on activities for kids, I want to build awareness so I can actually have a strong following once the museum is able to be opened. I really want to focus on, too, right now, lack of space. I want to have like these original builds using these older toys. So using like older Lego or Black City, which is similar to Lego as well, using 10-year toys. Right now, I don't have the space, unfortunately, for that.
That would be really interesting because we
museum,
do see Lego builds, but
not anything else.
Tinker Toy, I mean, like you said, Lincoln Log build.
You don't see those anymore.
I want to do that.
But I learned that. So actually, the headquarters for the Erector Society is in Ohio. It's actually in Middletown. I learned that recently.
I did not.
And there actually is an event coming up in a few weeks that it's in Indiana, Lafayette. I'm going to go to kind of work with those people and have them come out to some of my events as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that. I like the partnership.
Very cool, yeah.
I'm looking forward to more kids discovering some of these building toys. And I do know that, and I remember even growing up learning the difference between two-dimensional things represented on screens or on paper versus actually playing, especially at younger ages, with the three-dimensional objects. And
Absolutely.
that really helps you build those connections and keeps it from being an abstraction. And we talk about needing people to understand science, technology, and math, and a lot of that comes from the build and being able to start with that as a play thing.
So I think for me as a kid, playing with Lego, connects, and blocks, it led to me pursuing a master's degree in architecture. So it's all related together pretty much. So it does pay off. Now, am I pursuing that right now? No, but a different story.
Well, but it gave you the tools.
It gave me the tools, exactly. It gave me the tools. For me, my outlet is building actual buildings with Lego. That's my outlet for that right now.
Okay, which is, I mean, you're
It's
still
pretty
doing
cool.
architecture.
It's still pretty cool, exactly.
And it's more affordable.
Debatable.
I mean,
Lego is expensive.
We've seen some of the Lego sets.
Yeah, they're quite expensive, but they're all great. They're all great.
Speaking of Death Stars and all of those things. Well, is there anything else that you want to make sure that viewers know about the Toy Museum?
So I would say go on the website. Right now I have about 40, 48 or so different toys listed there. I have a lot more at home I have to actually process, but you can see all of my collection on the website. You can explore the history of these toys. I have articles as well that go in depth, talk about like the history of the toys, the toy founders, things like that. And then look at our events and exhibits. We have a lot happening in the next few months, so stay tuned for more as well.
Yeah, it's a really good starting point. I noticed on some of the history articles, and you can kind of see a range of all these different kinds of 3D construction building toys. And I've gone through it, and the event section is very helpful. Also, I noticed you have Facebook and Instagram.
I also, not linked yet, I do have TikTok and YouTube. And to link it on the website, but yes, it's on there as well.
Okay, I'm looking for really entertaining Lego and various type of building toy TikToks.
Actually, one of my, so I only have about 5 videos. One of them actually has 77,000 views on TikTok. It went somewhat viral for me. This is great. So,
all right, we'll have to go look for that one.
Yes.
For sure. If viewers have any questions, how can they contact you?
So in the About section of the website, you can find me on there via email. So that is actmuseum@gmail.com. But all that's under the About section on the website.
Okay. And they can just find that information there. Also, they can follow you on Facebook.
Follow me there. Message me as well on there too. Facebook, Instagram. I'll easy to reach out to.
Okay. Well, I want to thank you so much for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
I'm really excited about this. I clearly enjoy the toys myself, even though I'm theoretically a grown-up.
You're never too old to play with building toys.
No, any of them. There's not even one of those types of toys that you can get too old for.
Exactly.
I really look forward to seeing where this goes and watching it grow. And I'll have my eye on the events to see what's coming up.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And thank you for watching, because that means you are staying in touch with the different organizations in your community. And I look forward to seeing you at some of these exhibits. See you next time.